A villainess who cares about nothing but magic circles enters a political marriage with the crown prince in order to read an ancient grimoire. Chapter 2, Head Maid Marie on the verge of a breakdown. The next morning.
And what?
Marie, the head maid, froze with the door still open in her hand. Her lady's room had become something entirely different overnight. No, let us be precise. It was a disaster. The sharp smell of scorched ink and parchment stung her nose. Paper, paper, paper. The pure white carpet was buried beneath parchment, while sheets hung from the bed canopy like curtains. And every last one of them was covered in strange geometric patterns. Magic circles.
As my lady.
The scene from yesterday returned to Marie's mind. Her mistress had clung to the parlor floor, spilling one incomprehensible phrase after another. If this was a nightmare, Marie desperately wanted to wake up. But reality was usually even less merciful than a nightmare. The edge of the writing desk bore a faint scorch mark. The top sheet in the nearest pile was glowing dimly. Worse still, several magic circles scattered across the floor pulsed as though they were breathing.
What? The desk is burned, and the paper is glowing.
Marie's thoughts came to a complete halt.
My lady.
The hands holding the tea tray began to tremble. The teacups clattered in protest. Then a small head popped out from behind a stack of papers beside the desk.
Ah, Marie, good morning.
Marie nearly dropped the tray when Lysette turned around. Her silver-gray hair was a tangled mess. Her nightgown was stained all over with ink. Dark circles beneath her adorable 5-year-old face would have impressed a grown scholar. Every fingertip on both hands was black. And yet her pale violet eyes alone glittered with fierce excitement. They were unmistakably the eyes of a researcher who had worked through the night. They were not eyes a 5-year-old should ever have.
My lady, what happened to you? And what in the world happened to this room?
Marie pointed a shaking finger toward the desk.
The desk is burned.
Oh, that.
Lysette barely glanced at the scorch mark before answering casually.
I tested an improved formula on paper last night and it produced a little heat. There is no problem. The glowing sheet beside it proves the formula activated correctly. Its mana consumption was exactly as calculated.
Activated. You used magic alone in your room last night.
Please call it a formula. The word magic is far too broad.
That was not the part she needed to correct. Lysette, however, was perfectly serious. Marie had served this household for 15 years. The Marquis's youthful pranks had never shaken her. Even when her ladyship's dress suddenly caught fire, Marie had handled it calmly. But this, 15 years of pride as head maid, began to creak and fracture inside her.
If I had arrived any later, the entire room might have burned down.
It did not burn down. My calculations are precise.
That is not the point.
Marie took a deep breath. The reality before her did not improve in the slightest.
My lady, please listen to me calmly.
Lysette patted the stack of papers in front of her.
Last night, I reconstructed the fireplace magic circle from the parlor using my memory. Then I began analyzing its basic structure. Thanks to that, I identified a fatal flaw in the formula design used by modern magic circles.
A fatal flaw.
Yes, I apologize for losing my composure yesterday. The instant I saw that circle, its terrible design overwhelmed me, but after analyzing it calmly all night, I found the cause.
Lysette thrust out a sheet with one small, ink-stained finger.
Look here, this formula does function, but its pathway contains 3 completely meaningless weight operations.
Marie looked. She looked, but naturally understood nothing.
It consumes 30 units of mana to produce heat that should require only 10. It has no safety mechanism either. If the outside temperature drops, the entire fireplace will explode.
A 5-year-old girl was discussing explosions as casually as a morning greeting. The color drained from Marie's face.
Explode. My lady, what are you saying? Magic circles are sacred creations perfected over centuries by the most renowned mages.
I do not know whether they are sacred, but their calculations are demonstrably wrong.
Lysette declared it without mercy and pulled out another sheet.
So I removed every unnecessary instruction and designed an improved version that converts heat through the shortest route. It uses only 1/3 as much mana. I also added a failsafe to prevent runaway activation so there is no danger of an explosion.
You cannot simply say there is no danger.
Then see it for yourself.
She was not listening. Lysette took 2 sheets from the desk.
This is a reconstruction of the current formula. It activates with 10 units of mana.
She sent a faint trace of mana into her fingertip. The formula on the paper slowly began to glow orange.
And this is my improved version using the same 10 units.
She touched the other sheet. Silver-white light flooded the room 3 times brighter than before. The same amount of mana. 3 times the output.
Marie, this is the difference good design makes.
What?
Marie, is something wrong?
There was no answer. Marie placed the tray on a nearby table and slowly surveyed the room. Mountains of paper. Scorch marks. Glowing magic circles. Her 5-year-old mistress covered in ink. And Lysette alone looked completely satisfied with her achievement. 15 years of pride as head maid finally collapsed.
My lassity.
Marie crumpled to the floor in tears.
What has happened to you? Since yesterday, you have done nothing but speak in impossible words. You used enough magic to scorch a desk alone in the middle of the night. Look at your hands. Look at your face. What if ink stains a noble lady's skin? 15 years. I have served this household every single day for 15 years.
Marie, please calm down. The scorch mark is minor and ink washes off.
That is not the problem.
Marie's scream echoed all the way down the corridor. In the distance, maids whispered to one another, wondering what had happened this time.
I will have a bath prepared immediately. After that, you will eat every bite of breakfast. You will not touch a single sheet of paper until both are finished.
Please postpone the bath. I am almost finished calculating a further improvement to the heat conversion efficiency. If I get wet, the paper may tear.
Were you planning to take the papers into the bath?
I was.
Lysette's expression was perfectly serious.
Absolutely not. What would you do with paper in a bath? The ink will run. The pages will swell. Your calculations will disappear.
No,
Lysette stopped moving.
that would be a problem.
Then get into the bath.
Faced with Marie's tearful intensity, even Lysette finally abandoned resistance.
Very well.
It seemed the greatest authority in this mansion was neither nobility nor logic. It was head maid Marie. A little later, after every ink stain had been scrubbed away and a complete breakfast firmly placed in her stomach, the tutors employed by the Marquis household arrived one after another that afternoon. Today's lessons were tea etiquette and the genealogy of noble families. Lysette had changed her clothes and was seated at the desk in her room. Her mind, however, was somewhere else entirely.
I realized something in the bath. Could every magic circle in this world be designed under the assumption that it must remain flat? If mana can interfere with space, stacking the circle into multiple layers should increase its output. No, wait, then the mana pathways would interfere with one another.
My lady.
Meh.
My lady.
Yes, what is it, Marie?
Marie was shaking Lysette by the shoulders, her face on the verge of tears.
Your teachers are waiting in the parlor. Today's lesson is tea etiquette. Now, please stand up.
Later.
Lysette answered at once and returned her gaze to the parchment.
I am searching for the cause of this formula's error. A multi-layer structure needs controls to prevent its mana pathways from competing. I have no time to sit around drinking tea.
This is not free time. It is a lesson. Graceful tea etiquette is essential education for a noble young lady.
Marie was desperate.
If your father learns that you changed so completely overnight, imagine how deeply he will grieve. Please return to the sensible young lady you once were. At this rate, you will never become a proper lady.
The head maid knelt on the floor and pleaded through her tears. At that sight, Lysette's pen stopped.
Marie is crying.
Regaining the memories of her previous life had not erased Lysette's affection for Marie. Lysette paused to organize her thoughts.
I do not want Marie's position to suffer because I refuse a lady's education. If my relationship with father worsens, it may also interfere with my future research environment. That would be extremely inefficient.
This was the education required to live in this world as a noble daughter. Etiquette, manners, history, languages, music, and dance. In other words, it was a common standard for connecting to noble society. It was tedious, but meeting the specification would reduce unnecessary interference.
Marie said I could not become a proper lady. Conversely, once I satisfy every condition for being a proper lady, no one can complain if I devote every free moment to researching magic circles.
Lysette's mind instantly rebuilt her schedule.
Very well, Marie.
Lysette set down her pen and nodded quietly.
Please do not cry. I have not gone mad. I merely noticed a small part of the truth of this world. I am sorry that I worried you.
My lady, oh, thank the heavens, you have returned to your senses.
Marie's face lit up as she wiped away her tears.
Then you will attend your tea lesson.
Yes, let us go at once. And please move etiquette, history, languages, dance, and every other lesson ahead of schedule.
Ahead of schedule.
Marie blinked several times.
Yes.
Lysette spoke with an intelligence no 5-year-old should have possessed.
I will complete the entire curriculum for a noble young lady as quickly as possible.
As quickly as possible, my lady.
Come, Marie, if memorization and repetition are done simultaneously, 1 week should be sufficient.
Lysette left the room with light steps. Watching her go, Marie found herself thinking. Perhaps her lady truly had become strange after all. The following day, the tutors summoned to the Marquis household would face the greatest nightmare of their lives. End of chapter 2. Had made Marie on the verge of a breakdown.